the mediators. You know what it is because I've got this time with me Andrew Owens, our super special guest. We are going to actually have a little special episode. We're going to be talking about some underrated games that definitely need a remaster and they haven't done it yet. So what's the holdup? Andrew, we both got our list, so let's just dive right into it and let's talk about, okay, what game, in your opinion, is underrated and needs a remake?
Number 1, Lord of the Rings, The Third Age.
Talking about the GameCube version?
Yes.
The one, because I think I played that one too.
I loved this game. Now, when I first went to play this game, I did not know it was a turn-based RPG.
That does throw people off.
So for like the first 30 minutes, I was like, what is going on here? What is happening? I was like, I had never played a turn-based RPG before.
Okay.
So like I had no idea what was going on. I just knew it was Lord of the Rings, and because it was Lord of the Rings, I wanted to play it.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I've played many games like that. Like I just like the franchise, so I'm like, I want to play this game.
So, but the more I played it, the more I loved it. I've beat this game at least 12 times.
Oh snap!
At least 12 times.
That's not bad. Right. So you kind of like it a little bit.
I loved this game, but I loved it because it was the same world, but and it incorporated some of the main characters, but it did not focus on the main characters. And that's what I liked about it.
That's true. I'm vaguely remembering this. I played it a lot because it's also co-op, right?
Yeah.
So I played it with Nathaniel growing up, and it was fun. I don't remember all the details. Like I remember one point you're kind of like going side by side with like the main characters, not like literally, but like the story is almost kind of intertwine.
It's almost like quote unquote boss battles.
Yeah.
That it's like you fight with the like main characters and stuff like that.
But I like it. It kind of like fleshed out the movies as well.
Yeah.
It just didn't need that much fleshing out. But like you're not basically just copying the movies. You're going with the movie.
It's like literally the entire game. It's like you're half a day behind the main characters.
That's always fun. I like the new stuff like with like little twists into like to
and then
already
it's like
established stuff.
And then it's like at these pivotal moments, like you catch up with them and fight these battles with them.
Yeah.
And I loved this game.
All right, that's a pretty good one.
Because on GameCube, it had to be put on 2 discs.
Oh yeah.
Because it was such a big game.
That was a fun one.
Because like the first game only went to, right up to the end of the Mines of Moria. I think.
And then you had to switch. Yeah,
it was a little bit after that, and then you had to
Didn't
swap
the movies
discs.
also do it at that point too? That's about where you had to switch the discs for the like DVD.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that I remember like you don't really see that too often anymore. Where you have like multiple discs.
I mean, it's all digital now. You don't.
I mean, it's true. Like, even Blu-ray, I think, because you can hold more data on it.
Yeah.
That you don't always have multiple discs for like one movie. The first time I ever saw that was like I think Sound of Music on VHS.
Pearl Harbor on VHS, I think, was 2.
See, I never saw that one, but I rember in like music class we watched Sound of Music and we had 2 VHS, and I thought that was like the most weird thing ever.
Yeah.
But all right, that's pretty good. Mine's a little bit newer, but I don't know if you ever heard or played the PlayStation All-Stars game. So imagine with me here. It's like Super Smash Brothers meets PlayStation characters.
Okay.
So you have like Nathan Drake and like other different characters from the PlayStation universe that do like not battle royale, but like they fight on like a 2D scroller type thing.
I mean, I'd play it.
Exactly, like it's basically Super Smash Brothers is what it is, but with PlayStation characters.
Just non-Nintendo characters. I would play it.
It was pretty fun, and I feel like they need to update it because it was not a bad game. It was a little awkward and like sometimes a little clunky, and like some of the maps were just kind of like, but the concept was really neat, and so I feel like they definitely need to bring that back.
I feel like that game probably didn't have as big of a budget.
Probably not.
As Super Smash Brothers.
No, but the whole, like I said, the concept of it was really cool, and I feel like it definitely needs an update or a remaster, whatever. That's my first one on that.
I would play that game.
It was a fun. You can multiplayer, so you can have like 4 people playing, fighting each other. It didn't have an online feature that I remember.
The more I think about it, the more characters I could think of being in it.
Yeah, you had like Crisis and like Sackboy, and who else was there? Just like random characters.
Was Nathan Drake in that?
Yeah, no, he was. That's because I remember playing. That was like my character that I always loved to play as. So you could have like his grenades and his AK-47.
Like Sly Cooper and.
I think he was in that too. Yeah.
Jack and Daxter.
I don't think they were in it.
Were they PlayStation only, Jack and Daxter?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
It was Naughty Dog, so. But.
Wait. Jack and Dax? What?
Right? I'm gonna edit this out if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Jack and Daxter? When was Naughty Dog? When did Naughty Dog become a thing?
No, they've always been a thing. Let's see. Okay, maybe not. I thought it was. I guess I'm completely wrong. What am I thinking of then? I guess just Crash Bandicoot then is what I'm thinking. I could have sworn they did it.
I mean, like it was kind of in that same realm of games, but I didn't think that was Naughty Dog. Because like at that time, it was like
Yeah, no, it
Spyro.
is.
Naughty Dog made Jack
Right.
and Daxter. It would explain why it's such a great game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Games. But like I think of Jack and Daxter in that realm of games with like
Yeah, Naughty Dog.
I am shook.
But it was created by Andy Gavin and Josh Rubin.
Huh.
So I don't know.
I am shook. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
they developed it. Okay, I was pretty sure, and yeah, okay. I wanted to
awesome.
make sure I wasn't like going completely crazy there because I was I thought they were.
I didn't think Naughty Dog was a thing until later. So,
No, like Crash Bandicoot was like. Did you ever play Crash Bandicoot?
when it comes
you were, like, aware of
to
it?
those games,
Yeah.
like I was not aware of who made them.
Oh, okay.
I just knew they were things and I enjoyed playing them.
I wasn't really until Uncharted. I wasn't really paying attention to like, okay, who made this game? Who made this game? But it's like I love Uncharted, so I was like, I'll see what other games they have.
Yeah.
And so that's why I got Jack and Daxter, was because of Uncharted. I never even really finished the games, but I
Man.
did have it. So yeah, it was Naughty Dog. I won that round. I feel
Man.
better.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All right, what's next on your list there?
Continuing with the Lord of the Rings theme.
All right.
On GameCube, maybe on PlayStation. I don't remember it being an exclusive, but there was a game adaptation of The Hobbit.
Oh my goodness! You remember when you lent me that game?
Yes.
And I died on the tutorial.
Which I still cannot get over. But
I kind of just wanted to see if you could, because you promised me you cannot die on the tutorial. And I was like, well, I want to see.
There's nothing to fight. Like, unless you died from fall damage.
I drowned.
Oh gosh. But that game, I may have beaten more than 20 times.
Oh snap! I don't think I actually beat it. Did I?
I played that
remember
game
now.
on a round circuit for at least a year and a half. Like that was
Oh,
the
man.
only game I played.
I love games like that.
And I loved that game. If
Okay.
they remade that to kind of become more like the almost like the Lego game open world style,
Ooh, all right. I like Lego games.
because it was level based, but the levels felt open world.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, like where you could explore it.
Yeah, because
and...
it wasn't so like streamlined. Like you could explore
Right.
and find things and all that.
Oh, that's fun. Those are I like those games like where it's not exactly open world, because then you get like overwhelmed with like all the different stuff to do. But then it's like you can still kind of explore and take your time on each level.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
and the voice acting was awesome. The level building I thought was very good. The art style I liked, and the soundtrack was incredible.
I guess I have to retry it sometime because I don't remember that much of it. I think I literally gave up after the tutorial.
Which is just sad,
I think I just
man,
gave it back to you.
because that is a stupendous game.
I honestly don't remember why I stopped playing it, but
Probably because you died in the tutorial.
probably. Thanks for bringing it back up. Moving on. All right, this is another old PlayStation game. Gex, Enter the Gecko.
Okay, I've heard of that, but I've never played it.
That was one game I was just. I don't know. I don't even remember if I beat it. I just remember playing the game a lot as a kid. So that was a fun one. I wouldn't mind seeing that kind of, because they brought Spyro back.
Yeah.
I played Spyro. I love Spyro. So I'm
Which,
like, that's another
that
Blizzard.
was a remaster that was done right.
Yeah, it felt really good. Like how they did it.
I mean,
like
it's way easier than I remember it being.
Yeah.
Because I flew through the first game in like 2 hours.
Oh snap!
And was like,
I don't think I.
this is not as difficult as I remember it being. But as a game, I was like, remaster done very well.
All right. Okay.
what was it called?
It's called Gex. Enter the Gecko.
Enter the Gecko.
It's like a spy type game. It was
Do
really.
you
It was
play
just
as
crazy.
Gecko?
Yes, you do. With Gecko powers.
Gecko powers. So you climb walls and
If I remember right, yeah.
detach your tail. And...
So I built this list mostly off of like nostalgia and like vague rememberings. So I don't remember all my details 100%, but I remember this game, and so I'm pretty sure it was stuff like that because it was fun. I just remember some of the crazy stuff you would do in it. So yeah,
That seems
I'm gonna
fun.
say yes.
That seems fun.
Oh yeah.
My third game, Need for Speed,
Oh
Underground 2.
No. Oh
Yes.
no. We used to play that one before church.
Yes.
On Sundays and
Need
stuff.
for Speed,
And
Underground 2.
That game, I had it,
Paved the way for open world racing games.
which I find incredibly boring.
I loved this game, and what makes me so irritated is that it seemed like the overwhelming majority of the gaming community within the racing
Yeah.
genre was like, if you wanted a Need for Speed remaster, what do you want? And it was, everybody was like, Underground 2, give me Underground 2. And then they give us Hot Pursuit. No one wants Hot Pursuit. We want Underground 2. And the fact that this game has not had a remaster baffles me.
That is kind of odd. I mean, because I remember how popular it was, and even though it's not my thing, again, I find I'm not a huge racing person at all. I'm not even like sports.
Well, and it wasn't even like just racing. One, the soundtrack was fire. The music in that game was incredible. Second,
I mean, that's fair. Music's a big.
Second, it was like open world. Third, like the customization of your cars,
yeah,
like was a whole nother level to me at the time. Like just the fact that you could do
just about like
about anything you wanted. It's like with the rims and the side skirts and the bumpers and all that, and like decals and like mounted neon underneath, and I thought it was so cool.
See, that's just never been something I'm like super interested in, so that's probably why I never really got involved in.
Yeah. Now, as far as 100% completing this game, maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
But I played it a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think on my list I've got 2. I think 2 of the games that I've played and beaten multiple times. So
I get very fixated on games, and I'm kind of this way with everything. It's like I don't like a wide genre of things, but the things I like,
you just go back and forth.
It's just continuous.
That's not. I mean, I think a lot of people. I do that with certain things as well, but I'm also like I love new things. Like I'm more of like a story type person.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, okay, if this game's got a good story, I want to go to that, and then I need another story, and then another story.
It takes me so much time to build up, like, not courage, but it's just like the drive
I think I understand.
to try something new.
Well, because if you don't know if it's gonna be good or not, you want to.
That's exactly what it is.
Enjoy.
It's like, one, I don't want to spend my money on it if I'm not gonna enjoy it, and 2, like I don't want hours wasted.
You're just like this game. You're like, wow, that was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Oh, Prince of Persia.
Which one?
PS3, I think is what it was.
PS3, is that was that Sands of Time?
Maybe no.
Or was it one before that?
Where you're like trying to save the princess, and like she didn't die. I think she was like dying, and like the whole world was getting like erased or something like that. I'm explaining this very badly, and this is gonna be a spoiler warning for anybody who has not played this certain game. I can't remember the name of it, but
I feel like that is Sands of Time.
It ends with you losing. You win the battle and you end up losing, and that's the game.
Okay, maybe that's not Sands of Time. That I've only played one Prince of Persia game, and it was Sands of Time, and I loved the game, but it was one of those that's just like once I dropped it, I never picked it up again. But I remember like when I played it, I really did enjoy it. But it was one of those like I just kind of got tired of it after a while. Is it Sands of Time? I don't even really remember what Sands of Time was about.
It was this one, Prince of Persia 2008.
Oh, okay. I know the cover, but I never played that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of read a little bit so I can remind myself of the synopsis, because it was just like, all right, I don't care about characters. Plot summary, here we go.
Don't care about characters.
Yeah, you're searching for your... All right. Oh, man. Yeah, so basically, yeah, the whole
You
world
looked
gets corrupted.
confused. I was like, this game is going to be absolutely nothing as what you just described.
No, it is. I'm like, how much do I want to read it? Because it's like, it's a lot. And it's kind of a convoluted story. Basically, you're trying to save the world from corruption.
Yeah.
And in doing so, like, the king who sent you on the mission becomes corrupted too. Because he's trying to bring his daughter, the princess that dies, back to life. And then you have to stop him from bringing her back to life, even though she's, like, been with you, like, the entire way.
That sucks.
And she dies, and I want to remember how it ends. The game ends with the prince carrying Erica across the desert while the darkness envelops the world and the temple is destroyed. Because you also choose to like save or not. I forget, like, to not stop the darkness.
I kind of like endings like that. I mean, I am like when it comes to morals in video games, like I always pick the good options. Like I'm not one to have like a bad character.
Yeah, okay.
And I always want the good endings where everybody lives and everything is great. But when it's done well.
Yeah, no, it was very well. I was just so. Did you ever play Last of Us?
Yes.
Last of Us? And you know how like that ending?
Yes.
We're just gonna go into spoilers. So you know, Joel sacrifices the world basically for the girl.
Yes.
That's exactly what happens here. Of course, this one was like I wouldn't say it was as emotional, but it was pretty emotional at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do all the things.
And at the same time, you do not feel bad about that decision at all.
No, this one I did because. You basically the whole game you got to bring this tree back to life to save the world from descending into darkness.
Okay.
And you find out like the last thing is like the princess, whatever, the girl, and then you like okay to save her you have to basically undo everything you did to save her, and that's what you have to do.
That's way too much work.
It's shortened at the end, but basically I just was like, the whole game
That is way too much
all
work.
the work you did to try to save the world. You're like, you know what? Forget that. Screw the world. I'm saving the girl, and that's what happens basically.
Oh yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. That's way too much effort.
It was done very well, I'll say
Man.
that, and it did not feel like it was too much. But it felt like every time you would basically chop down one of the pillars, it was like, I shouldn't be doing this, but I have to do this kind of thing. So it was good for that reason. This isn't even one of the games I'm talking about, but that was another. I like that game.
I mean, I've heard of it. And the one, like I said, the one Prince of Persia game I've played, I really enjoyed.
I kind of want to play it again now.
Prince of Persia was kind of like God of War for me. It was like the first hour or so, I loved it, but then after that, I was like, okay, I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like this game was that tedious. You know, like I didn't feel like it just repeated itself, even though there's that whole time travel thing.
Yeah.
It felt like fresh the entire time. Like it made sense.
Yeah.
I don't like sad stories. So, moving on.
If it's done well.
I don't even care if it's done well. I don't want it. I'm not a fan of it. And I'm not apologizing for not wanting sad stories. I'm not going to.
Well, that's okay. That's all right.
So speaking of where you don't have to really think, but you kind of do. Splinter Cell.
The first Splinter Cell.
I played it on Xbox.
Was a game changer.
And I loved it where you shoot out the lights and like you can sneak around in the dark. I played the co-op version.
That was the first game I ever played that like really required the use of stealth.
Yes. And I loved it.
And when I say required, I mean required.
Yes. Like where you can't just like give up and you're like, all right, whatever, like, I'm killing everybody. And
Yeah, it's like you better shoot out the lights and hide a body and shut the door. It's like it was
you have to be meticulous.
Yes. But I loved the game.
It was so much fun. So I that needs to be redone or they need to make a new one or something.
No, because the new ones have sucked. Like the last two that they tried to make were just horrible.
I want something good.
The first two were really good.
Yeah, I lost the second game. I can't remember where. Like I had it on my Xbox and it just disappeared.
I couldn't even tell you what the second one was about.
I honestly don't remember any
loving
of it.
Playing it.
Yeah, like the game. I remember like being in a courtyard at one point and like shooting out lights and like sneaking behind the guards and everything. That's about. I remember having so much fun with it though. Good times.
It was.
Oh man.
And it was
fun.
like in games like that, like I was talking about Need for Speed. It's like stuff in those video games that have become so integral.
Yeah.
Like into games today. It's like when I think of Splinter Cell, and it's like trying to like alert people to come near you.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. It's like you see that in a lot of games now.
It's like it was ahead of its time, I guess, groundbreaking at least in that area. But it was so much fun playing it.
Yeah.
So that's a game that I think that one needs to be remade, or basically just remade,
Yeah.
or at least similar enough in a new one.
Yeah. Because it did get slow at times.
Oh, of course. Like again, the repetitive nature of it, because like again, you can't run through it. You have to be careful. I mean, there's probably speedrunners that can do
like
it. But
you have to pay so much attention to games like that. Man.
All right. What else you got? I've got 2 more.
All right. I've got a number, but we can just go with the best ones.
All right.
I think this was just on the GameCube, but it was a game called Super Monkey Ball.
I feel like they made sequels to it.
Yeah, the one on GameCube.
That one, I have a love-hate relationship with that game.
Same, but I loved the game.
Like, it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating.
It was like, depending on what game mode you were playing.
Yeah.
It was so incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
But on some of the game modes, it was almost like Super Mario Party kind of vibes. It was like you were just having fun with friends. Just trying to mess each other up. And
that was true. I love messing with other people. That was a lot of fun.
And some of the game modes were just super fun. And then some of the others were just incredibly frustrating.
Oh no, I'm like you can get just right, and then you like fall off the edge. And you're just like.
But it's like I feel like we do not have enough good party games.
That's true.
And I think a remake of this would be a great, 4 to 6 player party game.
I feel like Nintendo has the best party games.
Oh, by far.
Like I'm thinking, I'm like you got Mario Party. I don't know if you ever played on the Wii, but like the backyard games and stuff like that.
So.
I remember just the amount of fun you could have like with those games were like so much fun. So
very, very fun.
And a lot of people complain. All right, it's like 4, but still that was like a good people come over and you play that one, and like it's not as competitive as but like
it depends
Warfare
on who you're playing with.
Like, yeah, that's true. That is very true. But like it's I feel like the stakes are a little bit lower for the most part. Well, I don't feel like punching my TV most of the time.
Yeah, it's like when we're playing Warzone with everybody. It's like there are times I just want to chuck my controller at the TV.
I want to turn off the game. I don't want to play the game anymore. I'm just done at that point.
Well, because it's tryhards and getting cussed out by 6-year-olds, and you're just like, why do I deal with this? Why?
Yeah, you don't worry about that with Nintendo games most of the time.
Depending on who you're playing.
I guess, yeah. There might be some.
I remember, it was with my wife and her brother, and his son. I think may have been his daughter.
Okay.
But I think it was his son. We were playing Super Mario Party on the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't even remember what I did, but something happened, and it took coins away from my wife.
Yeah.
And she did not talk to me the rest of the night. She got so mad because it ended up costing her the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm just over here trying to get a star, babe. I don't, I'm not.
It's just a game.
This is nothing personal, it's just. And she got so mad about it.
My wife has done similar things when we play like Uno or something like that. I've gotten literally punched a couple times.
Uno is a different kind of rage.
She almost punched Nathaniel one night.
Because it was insane. I play Crazy Uno. Where it's like you can jump in and
oh wow, yeah,
and I haven't played that one in a stack while. Draw 4s.
Yeah,
and oh, you talk about rage.
Yeah, man. No, that's you get in trouble with that one.
Golly.
So I played again. It has sequels, but the first one I want to play again a lot is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
That I think is underrated.
It's got. I mean, I don't feel it's underrated because it has a pretty strong. They're still making new games.
I feel like the following came after though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, because there was one. I think there was one before that one, but that was the first one I played. Yeah, and I loved it.
When it first came out, it's like I heard nothing about it, and then 3, 4, 5 years later, people were like, "Oh, dude, you need to play this game."
I love playing it, and I feel like the sequels, I don't like the gameplay as much. The latest one, you have cards and everything, and I'm just like, I'm not a huge fan of the card stuff.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
So I want the purity of the first game that I played on that one. It was so much fun. I love the characters that you have. That was another thing. The new I played the latest one on Switch, and one of your companions literally dies. And I'm just like, this is a Nintendo game. I don't want to go through this.
Nintendo games aren't supposed to be sad.
No. I was like,
But minus Legend of Zelda.
I feel like there's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other. It's a whole other world.
But yeah, so Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door, loved that game to death, and I really wanted. I tried to see if it was even available on Switch or whatever. I can't find. It's not. So I'm like, I really wish they would bring it up to date because I want to play that game again without having to go get a GameCube.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's.
I'm that way with a few Legend of Zelda games.
I'm so glad they updated Wind Waker.
Like Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker as
Yes.
which I mean they did like the HD remakes of both of them.
Right.
But I was like, I need them on the Switch, so I can carry them with me forever.
Yes.
Like it's almost like music as well. It's like there are certain albums that I do not want to be lost to time.
Yeah.
There are certain video games that should never be lost to time.
My heart's getting heavy just thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, there's so many things that like you can never play them again without going back.
Yes.
And
I was like,
sometimes
it
you can't go
like
back.
even if it's not a remake, even if it like they do like a GameCube mini thing
like
they've
a
done
port
with
or
the
something. Come on.
like they've done with the 64 and all that, where like
Yeah.
all the best games are on there. Like just do
Yes,
something
yeah.
to keep these games in the world.
I know. I really wish they would bring up. I wish they would expand that library on the Switch of like
Yes.
old games. Because I'm like, I looked through all of them. I was like,
If they bring all the
Man.
Legend of Zelda games to the Switch, my life is over.
oh, that would be.
I will never
They
do
have the
anything
old.
else.
Was it Link's? What is the first? It was like
Link's Awakening.
no. It was like on the free ones that you can play. It's like
Oh
top
yeah,
down
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I can't remember which one it is. I played a little bit of it, and like I said, I never really got into the old Legend of Zelda games. I played the first one on Nintendo, like the first Nintendo, and I was like, I don't like this game.
If you don't know,
I played Mario
Yeah.
instead. That was it. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of their gameplay on the old systems like that. Not a huge fan.
I get that.
So I love, like I said, Wind Waker is probably my all-time favorite.
It's
Zelda
mine
game.
as well, but it's also the first one I ever played, and I don't know
think
if that's
too.
why.
Well, I replayed it, and I just liked the
But
gameplay
it's still good.
so much better.
Yeah, like it's still good.
Like I liked it better than Breath of the Wild for sure because I'm not a huge fan of the breakability of things.
That's
Honestly, my biggest complaint.
That is
about
my
game.
biggest grievance of that game is weapons and shields break so quickly. And and unless you go to the big leaf giant thing, I can't remember his name, but unless you go to the big leaf giant thing, and give him seeds to upgrade your inventory, it's like
Wow. I didn't even do that.
Oh, well, you can do that.
I literally just jumped to the game because I'm like, I can't play this game because I can't stand this.
He's on your way to I can't say it, Kakakiro.
I know what
village
you're talking about
or whatever. I can't say it.
I can't say
but
anything.
he's
Most of
he's
the
on the
things.
way to that village in Breath of the Wild, and if you have enough, I think it's one seed to upgrade a inventory. So it's like you can spend one for your melee weapons or your bows, and upgrade your inventory.
I like unlocking, stuff like that in the other games. This one I just felt like there was no need for it because everything I had broke or ran out, or I'm just like it took me forever to get arrows and stuff.
I had to Google some things about Breath of the Wild because I
yeah,
tried playing
absolutely.
through it and I was like, okay, I know this game is going to be hard, but this is ridiculous. And so I Googled some stuff.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, okay, had this been in some type of tutorial, I would not have died 50,000 times at this point. So now I'm over here collecting ingredients, I'm cooking things, I'm selling junk, and the second I get to the first village, I keep fast traveling there and just buying arrows. I've got 400 arrows right now.
I do like the fast travel thing. I like that.
Fast travel was a game changer.
Yeah, that was a good thing they did.
Yeah,
I like that one.
And I loved that they kind of went back to a Wind Waker kind of art style. Loved that.
Yeah, no, it was very beautiful. Just a lot of the little things about the gameplay and the world itself were very irritating.
Honestly, just the weapons breaking so fast is really and the lack of tutorial on some things.
The unexplained, they don't explain certain things, or maybe I just was not paying attention, which is very possible. Because I remember at one point you had to go collect the shock arrows.
Yeah.
And I thought you had to fight the thing that had the shock arrows all around it, and I died every single time.
No,
and
you have to go fight this dumb Minotaur thing.
No, you have to sneak around it. You're not even supposed to fight it. You're supposed to get the arrows and leave.
Well, that makes a lot more sense because I died 25 times with this guy.
And I was and I realized, I looked up a tutorial. I was like, how do I get past this guy?
How do
and
I
then
beat
it's
this guy?
And then it said, do not fight this thing. Just get the arrows and run. And I was like,
yeah,
now you tell
Breath
me.
of the Wild is, for me, it's almost like Dark Souls It's like,
Yeah.
I love playing this game, but I can only play it like an hour at a time because I get so mad at it.
And that's why I haven't bought the game. I just borrowed it from Gabe because I'm like, I want to play it again, but at the same time, I do not want to play it again.
Yeah, well, and now that I know some of the inner workings of the game, I restarted. Okay, it was about a week and a half ago. I restarted.
All right.
Doing way better.
That's the thing. Once you know more or less what you're doing, it's a lot easier. But they don't tell you what to do.
I am about to get to the first beast.
Okay.
Have not died one time.
I can't tell you how many times I died in that game.
And I took a lot more time, like finding shrines.
Well, see, I did that to start
getting
off with.
Hearts and stamina.
I did stamina. I did not know you needed hearts. And I was like, I'm just going to get my stamina all the way up. And then I was like, wait, I need all these hearts to get the
Master Sword and all that, yeah.
I was like,
so literally, like, you can just, you can grind shrines, get your hearts and your stamina up.
Yep.
And then you can get the Hylian shield, you can get the Master Sword, you can get all of that before you even really start the storyline.
I mean, that's true. And then,
it's like, so you can just... And I love open world games. That's why I like Skyrim so much.
Well, you can't beat... Like, Skyrim is, like, one of the best open world games I've ever played.
But it's that, like, you don't have to play the storyline. Like, you can just explore and find things and defeat enemies.
And there's so much stuff to find,
so much,
which is amazing.
Yeah, and the map size in Breath of the Wild is just incredible. But anyway.
It is huge. That's why fast travel was really, really nice. More large games definitely need that. Yes. And I feel like the load times weren't too bad either.
Given the size of the game itself, like the map size, because load screens in Skyrim can take for free.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just like.
Breath of the Wild
they pop up everywhere.
like half of that time. Like it really does not take that long at all.
No, that's why I waited to get the Switch to play that game because I could have gotten it on the Wii U.
I honestly question why they even put it on the Wii U, but it's whatever.
Like the same reason why they're doing that with like new games like PS4 and PS5 because there's so many people who do not have the PS5 yet.
I just feel like the difference in quality between the
I heard
Wii
it was
U and
pretty
the Switch.
pretty big.
Yeah,
so, that makes sense. All right, what's your last one?
My last one.
One of your you've got two more, right?
Yeah, I've got a couple, but this will be the last one.
I've got one more, and then you can finish us off with that last one. Then
okay, go for it.
Well, you got more, so you can go, and then I'll go, and then you finish it up.
No, I'll just do one more.
Oh, okay.
Because two of these were suggestions from my wife. I've not actually played them.
Oh, okay.
I've just seen her play them, and she loves them.
Well, what are they? So we can at least have them.
So the first Jak and Daxter.
Okay, I couldn't.
I played that one a little bit, but I was younger when that one first came out. So,
gotcha.
I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second one that may get a remaster is The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh my goodness. Now, was that a console game or like an arcade game? Because I played an arcade Simpsons game. I remember playing that.
It was on console. Was it PlayStation? Was it PS2?
I don't remember.
I think it was
arcade,
PS2. I think it was PS2.
Wow.
And she loved that game.
Okay.
I mean, the concept of the game does not sound fun at all.
Yeah, no. It's like
you're basically a taxi. Like.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, the way she described it, it sounded like you were basically just a taxi trying to get people from one destination to the other.
Oh, yeah, no, I did not play that
But it's
game.
like you're just plowing through yards and people and all this, and it's just, it's just, I do not find the joy in this, but she loved that game, and I saw that the original makers want to do a remake.
Really?
And they're like trying to get support behind it, and I sent that to her, and she got super excited.
All right. So what's your last one then?
Continuing with my theme
of what could it be?
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
That was a good one, though.
That was such a good game.
That was a pretty great game.
The battle style was excellent.
Yeah, no, like the scale of it. Even though like, you're in a little map, like it felt like you were part of something bigger.
It was almost like The Hobbit. It was like it was
okay, yeah.
level based, but the levels were big.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember playing that one too.
And getting to pick your characters and leveling up and all your special moves and
then the tree that you can. Yeah, I love the.
And that you could like it. You followed each individual storyline.
Yeah,
it's like these levels you play as Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. These levels you play as whichever Hobbit
Yeah.
comes up, and then this over here you're playing as Gandalf, and like it was such a good game.
And I love like the behind the scenes stuff they had for it
Yes.
too. Like all the little different like I don't know what would you call like the features and everything that they had.
Like yeah,
Those
yeah,
were
yeah.
I love like I think that's the only time I've actually watched like behind the scenes stuff.
I watched every one of them
I watched every single
multiple
one of those.
times.
And I loved it because like I like movies, but I never really watched behind the scenes or commentaries. But I watched
Yeah.
all of them on this game. It was so much fun.
Like
They did such a good job with it.
I beat that game many times.
Oh man!
Many times.
All right, how many times, if you had to guess, how many times have you beaten that game?
Probably close to 30.
That's pretty good.
Probably close to 30.
Is that the game you've beaten the most, like ever?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, game I've put most time into? Absolutely
No,
not. But
I'm talking
game
about
I've
beaten. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to one up you because I've beaten this game over 38 times.
Okay. That's a
I love this game.
like we're such dorks. It's like, I beat this game 38 times.
I want to see a remake of the Great Circus Mystery Story, Mickey and Minnie / Disney's Magical Quest. I don't know why they have two different names for it.
I've never even heard of this.
Oh my goodness, it was a Nintendo 64 game. My friend had it, and every time I went over his house, it took us like I think 4 hours to beat roughly.
So not a big game.
It wasn't huge, but we beat it every single time. Because it was a co-op game, you could play as Mickey or Minnie, and it was a lot of fun. I'll say that. We had each level memorized. We got through it. It was basically a speed run for us at that point. I want to play that game again so bad.
It's almost like The Hobbit. It's like like when you get to the point where you have the levels memorized.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's some areas in Skyrim that are like this too. It's like I'm just going through it monotonously, and people will be like, "How did you know that was there?" And I'm like, "Time."
Lots and lots of time.
And lots of time.
So that's probably the most I've played a game ever. I want to play it mostly for nostalgia.
Was there a story, or was it more of like a?
Let's see if I can remember. So like an evil sorcerer like takes over a circus and like turns, and you have to basically stop him.
Okay.
And there's like this big dragon fight at the end, and it has all these different levels and like little secrets that you find throughout the game. It was a lot of fun.
I would play it. Like it sounds. I mean,
it's a pretty fun game.
When I think of older Disney games, I just think fun.
Oh yeah,
because they were so much fun.
Well, there's also like the Lion King and the Aladdin game. Apparently, it was like notoriously difficult.
But they were very fun.
I never played them. I played the old Tarzan PC game. I remember that one. I had a hard time.
The Lion King and Aladdin were two of the hardest games I think I've ever played in my life. But they were so much fun. And in Aladdin, because everybody wanted to get to the level where you fly the carpet in Aladdin, so we would all do A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and whatever that code was to skip the levels.
Yeah.
It was A, B, A, B, B. It was something. It's like you put it.
You remember.
You put in this code.
Yeah, and let's just skip.
And you skip the level, and you always skip like the first 4 levels because you wanted to be on the level where you fly the carpet with the lava's chasing you.
See, I never played the games because I was too caught up in this Mickey and Minnie Mouse circus game.
So like just any older Disney game, it has to be fun.
Oh yeah, I remember like Toy Story games and the.
Dude, that first Toy Story game was hard too.
Bugs Life, I think, was another one. I think. Something with leaves.
I never played a Bugs Life.
Maybe I'm making that one. Maybe I don't know. But a lot of those old games were a ton of fun.
The first Toy Story game was fun though, but it was hard.
Yeah.
I remember it being hard.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Like you get caught up in nostalgia. So let us know in the comments what game you think is underrated that you would love to see brought back in some form or fashion. And thank you, Andrew, for joining us on today's podcast. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.